Hey YouTube, Matt here, bringing you my proper Lightsworn profile. Sorry I haven't uploaded any videos in the last few weeks. The tournament before last I went to, there was no top cut, so I didn't manage to get any videos for then. There's also probably not going to be any dual videos from this past week's tournament, just for the fact that I went to record game 1 and the memory on my camera was full. There's about 10 minutes of it, so I may put it up. Then when I deleted the crap off it, somehow when I was putting the camera back onto the tripod, I started the camera at the same time, so then when I actually went to press record, I stopped it. And that was going to be a top 8 match between me and Lewis, which actually game 1 was really good. So I might put up the 10 minutes of that just because it was quite a good game back and forth, and just to show some of what the deck can do, because I went broken game 1. I actually lost game 1 just because of a bit of bad luck. But okay, so getting on with the profile, we've got the 3 JD, the 3 Lumina. This is just going to be a relatively quick profile, I'm not going to do a lot of explaining. 3 Raiden, just 2 Lila, I'm siding the 3rd. Decided to run 2 Felice, no Wolf. It worked well. A lot of times I got unlucky and was milling it through spell cards and not monster effects. 1 Minerva, just for extra name and the extra mill, plus she's a level 3 tuner, so I can get into Goyo and rank 3s. 1 Erin, just for sets, to deal with hands, to deal with Shadows to an extent. They still get the flip effect and an extra name. Then 3 Kura Bandit, just to get them extra mills, search out your solar recharges, etc. 2 Necro Gardener, just for some defense and extra darks for BLS. Just because you can banish these doesn't mean they're always going to be banished, so BLS is more than often not live, especially with Kura Bandits. Then some other boss monsters, 2 Light Ray Diablos, light deck, so you run Honest. Then the dragon components, 3 Eclipse Wyvern, and just 2 of the big dragons. I chose Tidal and Blaster just purely because of attack. I may switch this for Red Ox, and I don't really see myself using Tempest at all. So that's the monsters. Then for the spells, we've got the 3 Solar Recharge, the 1 Charge of the Light Brigade, 3 Solar Recharge. Yes, this is a proxy, but I was borrowing 2 on the day. I managed to trade for 1 of them. I already had the 1, so yeah, this is a 3rd Soul Charge. 1 Dark Hole, I don't know if I'll keep this in, this is sort of in limbo. And then 3 Breakthrough Skill. So moving on to the extra deck. 1 Goyo Guardian at 6. 1 BRD at 7, along with Arcanite and Michael. These are the most common things I went into in my extra deck all day. Went into BRD once or twice, Arcanite once, Michael about 3 or 4 times. Some level 8s just in case, never went into these at all. Leo, never went into it at all. Star Eater, went into it once. Then for the ranks, Alucard, didn't go into it at all. Levier, didn't go into it at all. DDW, this would be 101 or Castell, but Sam was using those, so I just decided to use DDW mainly just for like spot destruction, just in case there's something like a Kaiser Colosseum. No, Kaiser Colosseum is a bad idea. Brain, just spot destruction for something that you need to get rid of. 1 Lavarval Chain, just for the fact of getting extra numbers to, not numbers, extra names to grave, or possibly stacking to the top of the deck. Then rank 7s, 1 Dracosac, 1 Big Eye. Didn't go into Big Eye at all, went into Dracosac once, and Felgrand. Felgrand, other than just being probably the best rank 8, also if your drops double JD and they've like stopped one of them from getting through with, like, I don't know, Swift Scarecrow or something, you can overlay the 2 to stop yourself from milling 8. Then side deck, some other Lightsworn. This is again just for spot destruction. These are especially for like Kaiser Colosseum, Vanity's Emptiness, Light Imprisoning Mirror, things like that. Obviously you have to set these so they're a bit slower, but you can just take out like Erin and a Minerva, so it's an easy switch, and just the third lighter for the same thing. Then one Grand Mole, mainly put this in for like Shadows or anything of the sort where it's just got a monster that's causing me issues, so it bounces it back. Two Noblemen, again for Shadows and sort of Fire Hands. Chain Disappearance for Burning Abyss. Shadow Mirrors for like Burning Abyss and Shadow. Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell, again for Shadow, get rid of the fusion, even against like spell books. This can be fairly decent, or any deck that just revolves around like one spell card or something, it's fairly good. And then rounding it out with 3 Decree. Obviously I'm only running 3 traps anyway, and really they may as well be spells, just because of the fact if they're mill I'm not really care. So yeah, that's this profile. I'll quickly go over my matchups. I'm doing it from memory because I don't have my phone to hand. So, as I said earlier, I did make top 8 for this tournament, and round 1 I went against Lewis playing Burning Abyss, got abysmal luck and got thrashed 2-0. Game 2 was against Rob playing Sylvans, was a very close game. Can't really remember much about it. All I know is it was a very tight game, back and forth, and I just was able to get better advantage probably through JDs more than likely. Game 3, I can't remember. Game 4 was against a Mecha Phantom Beast deck, which was relatively straightforward. Oh, Game 3 was... no, I can't remember Game 3. The only game that I can remember much about was top 8. Top 8 was against Lewis again. Game 1, I just opened up the nuts, end up by the end of the turn having all 3 JDs ready to drop effectively next turn, because I would have had to, because I ended up going through into a Michael through a Lumina play, and when that Michael died, that was my 4th name. What ended up happening is Lewis Phoenix Wing Blast my Michael to the top of the extra deck, which meant I didn't have my 4th name, and Lewis wasn't drawing that well, so it went on for a couple more turns, so I ended up soul charging into a Lavarval Chain, tried to send the 4th name that way, and that got breakthrough'd. Game went on for quite a long time, and it just ended up that I just couldn't get that 4th name into the grave, and my hand was 3 JD and a blaster and like something else, so I was ready to drop the hate, but just couldn't do it. Game 2, I ended up smashing him. I dropped double JD and a blaster for game. Game 3, I go second. I summon a Kura Bandit that gets Karma Cutted, and basically lose from there, just because I couldn't recoup the advantage from losing a Kura Bandit, and the rest of my hand was subpar. I had like a Wyvern in hand and some subpar Lightsworns. So that's it for this profile. I'm going to be doing Sam's profile, which was Satella Knights. He made it into top 4 and then top 4 split, because there wouldn't have been time for top 4 and the final, so that will probably be around tomorrow.